The Clinton campaign sending out a memo to donors, volunteers, and supporters saying the race will be close, but that Hillary Clinton has many paths to those 270 electoral votes, and Donald Trump has, quote, very few. Sean Spicer is the RNC Communications Director and Chief Strategist, and he joins me now. Okay, so I'm going to throw at you the Democratic talking points as to why they cannot lose this race. Number one, they always point to the electoral map and how it's stacked in the Democrats' favor. The Fox News rating changes that came out just today show some states coming in Donald Trump's favor. New Hampshire normally leans Dem has turned toss-up. Colorado from lean Dem to toss-up. Iowa from toss-up to lean right, lean Republican. Minnesota to solid D to lean D. Is this enough? Where do you go from here? It's not enough.
No. This is purely a defensive memo that they put out by Robbie Moore. He's a guy who, in his own memo, says that while he used to give Donald Trump a 10% chance of winning, is now at 40%.
But the map does favor them.
No, absolutely. No. If you look at the Real Clear Politics average, going into today, they've got about 200 electoral votes. You need 270. We're lock, stock, and barrel around 170. But then you look to your point about the states that we're ahead in. Iowa, we're up 8. Florida, we're up. Ohio, we're up. You start going through those one by one. North Carolina. They had Arizona in the Real Clear average as a toss-up. I think we're easily going to take that one.
What states are you focused on right now? That you
I think Pennsylvania, Michigan, Virginia. We got to really get in there. I think you mentioned New Hampshire. We're going to continue to work hard there. We're not giving up on a state like Maine. It may only be one electoral vote. Maine Congressional District 2 is one that we think we can turn. But there's a lot of these states. Again, I think if you add up the ones that you kind of started to mention that lean us, you get us to 255 really quick. And then you start to say, okay, where do you take a state like Pennsylvania? You add in New Hampshire's 4, Iowa's 8, or Nevada's, and you start.
What's a dream state for you where you're like, we could get that? That would be a big deal.
I think Pennsylvania is Pennsylvania and Michigan are two states where I think the Donald Trump message really resonates. It's about working class people who have played by the rules, who have seen a system that's not working in their favor and regulations that don't help them. But I think both of those states continue to trend our way. And the thing that you pointed out that's so important is every one of those states, the trend is towards Trump, not her. Rhode Island, where I grew up, the Ocean State, won 20 points from Obama. It's a 2-point race in the last poll.
Let me take you through the other one that they like to say all the time. Hillary Clinton has the ground game. They're opening all these offices. They have the infrastructure. They're a money machine. They have the get out the vote, and Trump doesn't have that infrastructure. You're laughing.
I am, because at the end of the day, you look at what the last 3 days, again, the memo that they put out is very defensive because they see where the trend lines are in the polls. The reason that they talk about how many offices they open is because their ground game is insufficient and insuperior. The fact of the matter is that look at what the president and Mrs. Obama have been doing, getting out there, trying to motivate the base. They have an enthusiasm problem with African Americans, with Hispanics, with millennials. They're not turning out anywhere near where they thought they were for Obama. So they have offices, but they don't have the voter contact that we did. We've been doing this for 4 years. We have over 6,000 people spread across battleground states out there on a day-to-day basis.
Every time I turn on the TV, hammered with negative Trump ads. They're spending a ton of money on that.
$150 million.
Doesn't Trump have to answer back with more ads?
He's got a new one that just came out.
Same amount.
No, he just came out with a new one that's launching right now called Movement that talks about he being a different kind of person running for office, his success as a business person, how he'll make America great, and how his policies are not the same old Washington cookie-cutter answers. But yeah, he's going to be answering more. But after $150 million of negative ads against him, he's up nationally and he's up with these battleground states.
And she's fading. All right.
That's right.
Sean Spicer, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate